What is going on, guys? Joey Francis here at FLEXX Training Systems, and this is round 2 trying to record this because the first time I did it, something happened to my Bluetooth, and I'm in the car. So please excuse the background noises. I'm going to do my best to really just get the message out regardless of the audio quality. You know, this channel's never really been about, like, aesthetics or anything. I'm just trying to get the, like, video aesthetics. I'm just trying to get the message out and, like, what is useful to people. You might hear me honking at some people in the background. And today I just wanted to talk about quitting, and I just wanted to give you guys a scenario and just hopefully you guys get a message from this and can apply it to your own lifting. So from time to time, you're gonna prepare for a meet, and you're gonna put a lot of expectations on yourself. And I'm mostly speaking to younger lifters because they're more emotional. It's normal to be emotional. It's just how people are. When you're younger in life, you're a little bit more emotional, and as you get older, you start to get wiser. Is wiser a word? I think it is. And you're gonna view the world a little bit differently. And it takes time to get there, you know? I always tell people, like, I use this phrase a lot with my boys. I say, I can tell you the answer to the test, but sometimes you just need to flunk the test to get the message, right? It's not always as easy. It's easier said than done. It's not easier. How do I want to say this? Like, I can say it to you and you can hear me, and you might, like, hear it, but it's not going to be ingrained into your brain, into your being as a person, until you actually experience it. Right? Now, let's say you're preparing for a meet and you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, you know, whether it be collegiates, nationals, worlds, Arnold, whatever, and something happens at the last minute, 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks out, whatever, that you have no control over. Your girl breaks up with you, you get in a car accident, you get injured, something happens in your family, you get sick, anything. And there's so many different things, right? Let's say something happens to you and you're okay, you can compete, but you know that too much training was missed, not enough food was there, whatever happened, variables are all messed up now. And you just know, like, you're not going to have the meet that you want to have. Like, you're not going to have the performance that you originally were projected to have before everything happened. Now, for a lot of people, it's a very tough pill to swallow, right? A lot of kids will just sort of ignore it and, like, try to, like, imagine that they can just, like, you know, if you put like gasoline on fire, it's gonna fucking explode, right? Like, it's gonna create more fire, right? And they act like the lack of that fuel is gonna allow them to, like, make more flames, and it's not gonna happen. Like, it just literally can't happen. And I think you eventually want to get to a point where you can be real with yourself all the time. You can 100% just, like, see things for what they are, just be 100% rooted in reality, and not kind of set this, you know, real unrealistic expectation. Now, I have used I have done things to put lifters in a mindset that elevates them as a person. Like, it literally just makes them operate on a higher plane because they believe in this impossible goal. One example of this is Jesus. When I first got him, his numbers were like under 800 squat, under 800 deadlift, and like 470 bench. Obviously, he's gotten, like, way stronger than that. And he, you know, but he believed that he could get there. He believed that him taking on the best in the world, even though a lot of people were like, oh, that's a big task, like, you're trying to fill some big shoes, whatever, this and that, he still believed that he could do it. And I firmly believe that if you do not have that foresight, but that belief in yourself, and a coach that has the foresight, right, then you're much less likely to get there, right? Because you're operating not at 100%. You're not like growing into the shoes or the idea of yourself that you have. You're kind of just, like, taking what's in front of you and sort of just, like, you know, operating at the level that you're at now. You got to have this mindset of somebody who is greater than you, and then you kind of become that person almost, right? But it's not just thinking that way. You have to do the things that are going to lead you down that path. This is why having proper guidance is very important, and being accountable, right? You need to hold yourself accountable. You want people around you that are going to hold you accountable. But sometimes shit happens, right? Sometimes there's just absolutely nothing you can do. It is what it is. It happened, and you're here now, and it's time to compete. And you got to take what you have on meet day, right? You got to execute the best that you can. Maybe something happens on meet day that you have no control over. Maybe there's just a referee that's out to get you, like whatever. Like there could be a million reasons why things don't go your way. And the point of all this is sometimes you're going to compete. Sometimes you're going to do things and it is just not going to go your way. There's just nothing that you're going to be able to do to have the meet that you're going to want to have. And that is going to sting. But if you can see and understand why it happened, understand that you get another chance. You could do a redo. You could do it again, right? You can always do another meet. You know, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, like this is the last meet we'll ever do. And that's kind of a good thing to have, right? Because you're going to go all out, but you also have to be understanding and realistic and just know that, like, yo, I did everything I could to bring out my absolute best, and we just weren't able to do it. Shit happened. No excuses though, right? You get back in the lab, you build on whatever base that you have, whatever your baseline is, and you continue up. And I think for some lifters that, you know, falling short, another this video can also kind of tie into this, where I know what it's like to prepare and have everything go perfect and compete against a killer, compete against an absolute legend, and fall, like you lose on a body weight, right? Like that close. I also know what it's like to do all of that and win on body weight. I also know what it's like to do all of that and absolutely destroy the competition like it's not even fun, right? I also know what it's like to do everything right and the competition is just so far ahead of you that maybe they're a lot older than you, they've been training a lot longer, you know, and you're just not ready for that yet, right? So I've been through all of it. I've coached lifters through all of it. Me personally, I never really lifted to, you know, try to beat people. I just wanted to beat myself because I knew that I had issues that would hold me back, like deadlifting, and just a bad spine. But I was very amped up about getting those legendary, you know, squat numbers, bench numbers, whatever. Even you know, deadlifting what I deadlifted. You know what I'm saying? But it's not about me. The point is, you can't give up, right? I'm just now getting to the point. You can't give up. But yes, you can't give up. It's gonna suck. It's going to feel like if you're hard on yourself, you might feel like a failure. You might feel like a bum, a loser, whatever. These are normal things to feel when you're that type of person. But you have to understand that, like, there are a lot of incredibly good professional athletes, professional anything in any areas of life that have failed, right? If you're not, what do they say? If you're not failing, you're not trying, something like that. Like, you have to, you're gonna have shit happen sooner or later that is just gonna not be what you want, and you got to be able to deal with that adversity, and you can grow from that, and you will be better from it. You absolutely will be better from it. Let's use Russ for example. We won nationals in 2017, and then we lost at Worlds to Brett Gibbs, and from that moment on we said we're never going to feel this way again, and we went on a legendary tear, and we have not lost since that moment. And you know, what is that, 2019 Nationals, 2019 Worlds. I don't even know what happened in 2020 because the world ended, right? And 2020 never happened. 2021 Nationals, 2021 Worlds, I think it was in 2021. 2022 Nationals. Like, we just said, that's it. Like, no more. Like, we're not going to lose anymore. And it was, let's look at Keiko, for example. Keiko, I think we got 4th place in 2017, 4th place in 2018, and then in 2019 it wasn't close. he just blasted everybody. You know what I mean? And he could have got pouty. He could have got sad. He could have done all of that. But he said, nope, I'm going to keep my head down. I'm going to stay honest. I'm going to keep working. And he got to the top multiple times, you know, and I will always be, I mean, I could tell, there's so many stories, so many different lifters I could talk to you guys about great lifters who failed. And from that lesson, they went on to become like, they grew like 50 levels, if that makes sense. And that's how you need to be, you know, in those moments when shit doesn't go your way. You have to decide, what kind of lifter do you want to be? Do you want to, there's, you know, I always say there's two kinds of competitors. You can get punched in the mouth, you can stand back up and punch right back, or you can stay down. And it's that simple. It's literally that simple. You can decide the type of, you know, career you want to have, or whatever legacy you want to have. You can control your actions, right? You know, obviously, like, there's a genetic component to lifting and things like that, but you can work on your mentality. You can work on, you know, dealing with adversity and just getting better at the things that are tough and make you uncomfortable to put yourself in a position to be great. Okay? Again, if this video, you know, you could be great. Let's say you're not ever going to break the top 5. You can still be a great lifter. You could be a phenomenal lifter. You can always execute. You can improve. You can go into the gym and handle business. You can keep your injuries extremely uncommon, right? And you can have a really fun time doing powerlifting. Or, you know, you could just not learn those lessons, be super emotional, and just kind of watch the world kind of pass you by. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, there are a lot of things that we don't control, but there are also a lot of things that we can control. And one of those is, how are we going to act when things don't go our way, after the emotions pass, after you get it out, get your emotions out? What are you going to do now, right? You can quit and walk away, and you can always wonder, what if? Like, what if I just gave a little more? Like, what if I would have just, you know, man, like, what if I would have done that prep differently and done this, and this? Like, what kind of result could I have gotten? You can't quit. In my opinion, if you've already been here this many years and you're this close to something special, you probably have held it in your hands. Like, you pull for the win and you just slip out and drop it. That should fire you up like beyond belief to want to go and get that back, right? If there's one thing that, like, just to give you guys an example, like, my last high school football game ever, it was so devastating to me because I knew it was my last game ever. High school is a set amount of time. It is like life, but like condensed to 4 years. And after that, like, you don't get another chance at high school. Like, it's over. Like, you move on to the next thing. You can continue to play football, but you don't get another high school game. Those guys that I bled with, those guys that I went through hell with, I mean, they're going to go on and do different things. They might not want to play ball. They might, you know, have families and get jobs and move away. And it's exactly what happened. And it's a sad thing. And the cool thing about lifting is you get another shot and you can keep going till you get it right. And I just think it's one thing to be hard on yourself, to be a perfectionist, but you also need to be realistic, and you also need to just make sure that, you know, you're getting a little bit better. I mean, fucking get better today, boys. Literally just getting a little bit better day after day after day. Anyway, this is not the end for you. There is always another round, usually, until there's not. And you never know when the end might come, right? So listen to your coach, your coaches. I know a lot of you guys that listen to these work with the FLEXX coaches, not just me, obviously. I can't work with thousands of people at the same time. But, you know, you got to bounce back and you got to keep it moving. Anyway, I hope you guys got something from this. Don't quit, especially if it's what you want. It's okay to be emotional sometimes, but at the end of the day, it comes down to execution. And, you know, the more rounds that you spend in the gym, you know, getting beat up. Maybe you get beat up real bad the first time. Maybe you get beat up a little bit less the next time. And eventually, you're the one doing the beating up. And what kind of analogy was that? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you. Hope you have a good holiday. And, yeah, guys, see you in the next one. Peace.